Hey, what's up? Welcome to DGenEd. That's degenerative education, meaning none of this is financial advice. Just me having fun looking at charts like the chart behind me, which is of Luminar Technologies, ticker symbol LAZR. And I will also be going over MicroVision, ticker symbol MVIS, which was requested. And also, I did see a pretty interesting post on Reddit from the MVIS community about how Tesla admits that LiDAR is required for self-driving. So pretty interesting, but I will go over this at the end of the video. There will be a timestamp down below, so do check that out if you're more interested in MVIS than LAZR. But I personally am a little more interested in Luminar. So I'm going to go over the chart here, and I should note that as I record this, it is during the day, Wednesday, May 22nd. The market is open, and Luminar is currently trading at a price of right around $1.61. And so here, what we can see in the chart, I've gone over all of these lines and levels before, although I did add the 236 here from this Fibonacci retracement, which could be serving as support if we do dip lower. But I do think that we are above a pretty important trend line, specifically this purple downtrend here. And I do think that could be acting as support. However, over here, it did not act as support, so we may very well be breaking below it. And that is why I do have the 236 here, which is at a price of $1.44.6. Maybe price will be getting down there and also testing this yellow downtrend. So I am going to take a step back so we can look at those two levels and where they originate from. And so this purple downtrend is really just based on the low pivot points here, hit on November 28th and December 11th. So that is how I draw that line. Did act as pretty notable support here before this rally up, and then we did get a fake out break below it before another rally up. Maybe we have seen a more massive breakdown here, a fake out breakdown, but maybe we will be testing it as support and then going higher. And so that is what I am thinking, but we might, like I said, see a fake out break again to test this yellow downtrend, which is based on these two pivot highs highlighted here, one being from December 27th and the other being from February 12th. And so that is how you draw that downtrend, which did act as resistance over here. Let's see, on April 4th, and then also did get a wick above it on January 9th. So, I do think that level could be pretty important, acting as support in the future. But really the thing that stands out to me about the chart, not looking for support to the downside, but resistance to the upside. And so what I see here is this white downtrend, which I had previously suggested could be acting as the neckline for an inverse head and shoulders pattern. And I did suggest that, I believe, on May 8th, when I released the last video on Luminar, and it was before price went up to a high on that day of $2.32, which does kind of negate that downtrend as a neckline. But what I can do is adjust that line, adjust that level to overlap with that high of $2.32. So if I do adjust that, we now have, actually I need to adjust it over here as well, so we get a connection here to this pivot point here with the high hit on April 4th at a price of $2.21. And so that is, a pretty impressive steep neckline there, but we did test it here. Maybe we are forming the right shoulder, a test whether that is to the purple downtrend or the yellow downtrend. Either way, that could be the right shoulder, and then we could be seeing a move to test that neckline, having served as notable resistance, these two wicks, the one hit on the 8th and the other hit on April 4th. We have not seen price above that level since March 8th. And so I do think that will be a pretty key level to get to. And that could be right around $2.40, maybe $2.50, also being kind of a psychological level there. And also with options being listed in 50-cent increments, $2.50 could be a pretty key level to be getting above. And with that, I did do this old measurement from the previous neckline. I can do a new measurement from the top of the head, or really the bottom of it, since it is inverted. Take a measurement to that neckline, that represents about a $1 move. And so if we do see a break of that neckline right around the middle of June, who knows when it could happen, but maybe right around then that measured move would suggest a price to about $3.50. So maybe we are going to see price action up that high this summer. And so for me, I am feeling pretty good about the chart, feeling pretty good about the stock right now, but I do think it's going to be important to see if it does hold these levels. Pulling back to the yellow downtrend could be bringing price down to like $1.30, somewhere around there. But if we do hold that purple downtrend, that could be just coming down to around $1.50. And it does look like we are, as of right now, respecting the 382, which is at $1.59.2. So hopefully we don't see any closes below that. But if we do, I do think that this purple downtrend right around $1.50, or the 236 right around $1.45, or like I said, the yellow downtrend around $1.30, those levels could be acting as support, and they would not negate an inverse head and shoulders pattern. What would negate that, though, is if we did get price going lower than the low hit on April 18th, which was at a price of $1.21. So hopefully we don't see price going back down there. Hopefully that was a dip buying opportunity of a lifetime before price starts heading up to around $3.50 in mid-June, and it might be continuing higher after that, but it also might be bumping into some levels of resistance around here, like right around $1.82 to $1.85. These two lines here might be some notable resistance around there, or corresponding with the bottom over here, the 50% retracement is at $1.71. So do look for those levels to be acting as resistance on our way up. But I am pretty compelled to be thinking that price will be getting to the neckline around mid-June. That would be at a price of around $2.40. And then following that, hopefully we do see this move. It will not be a straight line up. It might take a couple months to get there, but $3.50, I could definitely see it maybe in August. I think that's probably more realistic than the middle of June, but who knows? Things have been moving up pretty fast lately, and maybe Luminar is one of those. And thinking of things moving up pretty fast, I'm wondering what's going to be happening with MVIS. This was requested. It is a much smaller market cap LiDAR company than Luminar, so definitely a little more risky there. Also trading pretty close to $1, currently trading at a price of right around $1.15, and testing this 1618 extension from this retracement here, going from the low hit on November 1st up to the high hit on December 27th. So that is how I get that level. So it was kind of, a nice predictor for where price might be going. But since it is so close to $1, I could definitely see price dipping below $1, and maybe that is a good dip buying opportunity. And then from there, could see some potential upside. And maybe this does move in concert with Luminar if I do think that is going to be bullish, moving higher in the months ahead. Maybe MicroVision will be as well. But with it so close to $1, hitting a low so far just yesterday of $1.11, it's pretty close to $1, and I do think that, if I was a short seller, this is kind of my mentality. If I was a short seller, I would want to drive the price lower. That would be like a trophy for me, and I do think it is feasible with MicroVision. But if it does come down to $1, maybe that's a great dip buying opportunity, and maybe price will be returning to $1.84, like the lows hit on November 1st. And so maybe there's some great upside for the stock. But I do think it being close to $1, it is pretty risky. But, those are just my thoughts. If you found them helpful, make sure you like the video, share your thoughts in the comments down below, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thanks a lot for watching.